Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today's a simple channel update to let you know what I've been doing, what's going on. I've been sick and ill for the last few months. Things are looking much better. I've taken radical steps, get things back on track again. But anytime you change your life in major ways, I mean, it can really take its toll on you. Sometimes as we get older, we don't like change. And when you have to change multiple areas of your life at once, it can be a real drag, especially if it affects something that you love, like gaming. And so my gaming's taken a hit, which I've mentioned in a couple other videos previously. But it's been turning around. I've been playing a lot of this The Force Unleashed lately. In fact, I played a bunch of it yesterday, and I just can't believe how great this game is. I'm shocked that I never played it earlier. It got some kind of lackluster reviews from GameSpot and IGN. They liked some elements from it, so I remember watching those reviews early on and just, for whatever reason, never got around to getting it. I got the game, I think, earlier this year or perhaps the end of last year, along with The Force Unleashed 2, and I'm glad I've given this a chance. It's really wonderful, and it kind of rekindled my love for Star Wars games, which I have a bunch of. So I've got, I ended up getting the Rebel Assault PS1 game, the Rebel Assault 2, which I remember playing back in the day. I can't wait to get back into this again on my PlayStation 1. I haven't touched my PS1 in a while now. Sometimes I'll play on my PlayStation 2. And then I just recently picked up Star Wars Battlefront, or Battlefront 2, and I've been playing this. In fact, I put this in here today as well. I just love playing the space battles with the X-Wing fighters and the TIE fighters. It's just so much fun. And it's getting me excited for the upcoming Battlefront game, at least for the single-player elements of it. And that'll be enough. If it has the ability to play each of the maps offline, even in a limited capacity, that's more than enough for me, and I'll certainly get it. I got to get my butt down there and pre-order the game pretty soon. And I also have, the original Battlefront game as well, which I love. I've really enjoyed playing this. Now, this I played on the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox years ago, and love this. So I'm kind of new to the Battlefront 2, but they're both great games, and I'm excited that they're kind of continuing the legacy of the Battlefront series. I just wish they had more, like an offline campaign. I'd be a little bit more intrigued with it. But Star Wars Starfighter. Now, this one I haven't tried yet. I know there's a Jedi Starfighter for the PlayStation 2, which looks good. So if any of you know of any of these Star Wars games that are good, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'm looking to buy more, especially for the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. I know there's a ton of them out there. I keep seeing titles, but I'm not really sure if they're good or not. I really had only played the Battlefront games, and that's pretty much it, in the early Rebel Assault games. And I got this, The Force Unleashed 2, which I'm anxious to get to. But I'm having so much fun with The Force Unleashed that I'm really considering. I'll probably have to look online, because I went to my game store and I couldn't find the Ultimate Sith Edition, which has additional, I think, a Hoth levels and a Tatooine level, which I'm anxious to play. So I'm going to have to find that soon. But in the meantime, I'm having a lot of fun playing these old games and enjoying them as kind of a build-up for the upcoming Episode 7 movie that's coming out around Christmas, as well as a Battlefront game, which I know many of you are anxious to play as well. So many great games. I got that wonderful Mad Max game coming out September 1st. I've had that pre-ordered for 2 years now. And I believe that they're going to come out with the Blu-ray in North America, available, I think, the same time, September 1st. So I'm going to get the 3D version of that. I haven't tried my new 3D TV out yet. It's an active 3D with the glasses and the whole deal. I still haven't figured out how it works, but I may have to break down, spend a couple extra bucks, and get the special 3D edition of that, because it was outstanding in the theater. But and I also have, I've just noticed, I've got the Republic Commando. This is the next game I'm actually quite anxious to play. I can't seem to get the the Battlefront 2 disc out of my Xbox, but I've heard so many great things about this. Mark Bussler did an outstanding review of this game, and I saw a recent review. G-Man Lives did one of the PC version. He tended to pick it apart a little bit, but it looks like a great game, and I'm dying to play this Republic Commando. This looks like a great FPS, and so this has been sitting on the edge of my desk waiting to be played. But anyway, it's exciting. I'm anxious to get a couple more games. I've been really careful with my money. I can't go nuts and buy a lot of games right now, even though I wanted to. I had to pass, unfortunately, on the new Batman game. and a few other ones this year. But I do want the new Fallout 4 coming. Just Cause 3, I'd like to pre-order that. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I think it's coming out near the end of the year. Also by Avalanche, that's doing the wonderful Mad Max game, which looks outstanding, by the way. And this Battlefront game. So I think that'll be it for my new game purchases, and I'm going to be, I'm really pushing it to even buy those. I've been going by my Dimple store, my mom and pop store locally, just to look, at games, and every time I'm in there, I'll look. Sometimes I'll get a DVD, or I'll get a used Blu-ray, and I'll find something that I like, but I like to just pop in and look, just in case there's one of the limited few games left. I only have a few Xbox original games that I'm looking to buy, but I was hoping to find them locally, and I just keep looking and looking, and I went yesterday just for the hell of it. I said, I'm just going to look. I mean, it only takes a few minutes. I bring my reading glasses in so I can read all this fine print on the edges of the PS1 boxes and PS2 boxes and what have you, but when I was there, I found two amazing games. These are two games that have been high on my original Xbox buy list, and I finally found them. One of them is the wonderful Scarface. I'm so thrilled. All complete. I got a flawless disc, the manual, and I got it cheap for like $13. This game is one of the more expensive original Xbox games I've noticed. You can get it online probably for what I paid for it, or upwards of $20-something. But this is a great game, and I've never played this, but I've watched quite a few reviews on it back in the day. I remember when it came out, and for whatever reason, I just never got around to getting it. It was around the time I stopped playing my original Xbox when this came out. But I'm dying to try this and put this in. The other game that I found in great condition was the game Jaeger. This is what I've been looking for the longest time, and I've also seen a few videos on it. There's a few gameplay videos on this, not too much, but the graphics really have held up very well and look outstanding on this Jaeger game, which is actually developed by Jaeger, who did the wonderful Spec Ops line for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So I'm dying to play this. This was unfortunately missing the original manual inside, but I went ahead and bought it. It was only like $8. It was really cheap and in great shape. I said I may never see this one again, so until I get one with a manual, I'll just go ahead and get this one just to have it. But what an outstanding game, and this is one along with the Republic Commando that I'm anxious to try real soon. I love these spaceship shooter games. I really enjoy them, and the Xbox had a ton of them, which I'm excited about. So that was a big treat for me. I have some other news that I wanted to kind of talk about in this somewhat of a channel update here. Things have been not the greatest for me health-wise lately, as many of you know. Some of you who follow me on Facebook and Twitter, you've seen that I've been kind of on a roller coaster of ups and downs with medical treatments and going in for just tons of barrage of tests. I've had to change multiple areas of my life at once, which is not easy, especially when you get in your 50s. It's tough to change your ways and change the things that you love, the habits that you have, and it's been a really tough time. Economically, I've taken a huge hit. I've lost so much money and so much work as I've just been more realistic. I said I'm not going to get greedy and take on these giant jobs and have a heart attack in the process of doing them. It's just not worth it. Nothing is worth your life. So I've been very limited with the jobs I'm taking on. I'm trying to stay busy, but it's been slow. I did a lot of smaller jobs and even a couple of good-sized, medium-sized jobs that I comfortably can do, and I take those on, and I'm just happy to have the work that keeps me busy with my hands. I like to stay busy. I can't stand just sitting at home doing nothing. Some people think, oh, it's great, oh good, you can play games all day. And for me, I've been even having a difficult time doing that. Now lately I've been playing, especially the last week or so, I've been playing a lot more gaming and can play it for hours. It's been nice to get back to a normalcy of gaming again. Before I could only play 20, 30 minutes tops, and I'd start getting incredible migraines and even getting nauseous from it because of my stomach condition and problems that I've had for months now. It's been tough. But things are going, thank God, in the right direction, and I'm really happy to have my health and at the end of the day still be alive to enjoy gaming or to enjoy my favorite films and watching my friends' YouTube videos and favorite entertainment. It's been wonderful, and I've really appreciated and savored each day that I have that I'm here alive. But at the same time, and a few people know that I've talked to, a few friends of mine that I've been in touch with, either via PMs or over the phone. It's been a really challenging time for me. I've been through the worst manic depression that is like a blanket, a wave that kind of came over me, and close to 3 months ago, and it hasn't really left until recently, till the last week or so. And my wife was very concerned. She goes, I don't know, I've never seen you like this. You kind of down all the time. You don't even game. You don't watch your favorite TV shows and movies. I'm concerned. Is there anything I can do? I said, no, this is something I'll have to work out on myself. I believe, we're born alone, and at the end of the day, you're basically going to die alone. So I'm thankful to have those closest to me and friends and family, and especially my wife. It's nice to have people that care in your life, that support you and support your life and your career choices and even your hobbies like gaming and movies. It's wonderful. My wife doesn't share the gaming interest with me like she used to, but she likes to watch me do it. She gets a kick out of watching me game in the early evenings, and she certainly enjoys watching movies with me. That's something that we do. We go out to the movies very seldom, but we do enjoy watching, streaming Netflix and things like that. So I've been occupying my time with the little things in life, enjoying, watching all of the original Star Wars movies all over again on Blu-ray. I've enjoyed these so much. I've got to buy either the full box set of all of these on Blu-ray, or at least the other prequels, and I've watched the prequels as well and have enjoyed them. They've been quite enjoyable. And I really got inspired watching it with the commentary and the behind-the-scenes documentaries, watching George Lucas struggle to make those movies, especially the first one, and get it off the ground. It really is an amazing story, and a story against a man that was fighting against an entire system that did not like his ideas. And so I can relate to that. I can relate to one man feeling alone, one man feeling like sometimes you can't make a difference even though you want to. But at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. I really think that that's important. It's something that I preach, but I don't always listen to my own words. And so lately I've had about a week and a half off from work. It really gets slow. I've lost a bunch of bids because I can no longer bid on a lot of the bigger projects. And a lot of the smaller ones, other guys like to gobble those up. So the prices have been tough. Now I do have a ton of work starting next Monday. I'm going to be on it hot and heavy for weeks with work, which is great. It'll give me a chance to catch up financially. So I'm looking forward to some good money, which I can use to pay my bills. And if I'm lucky, maybe buy a game or two. It's been just really tight lately. But I'm just happy to have the work and happy to do something with my hands. I think it's important to work and to feel as productive as you can. It's a tough time that we live in today. There's just so much negativity, even on Facebook and Twitter. It's just filled with hate and racism and political, everyone trying to push their political messages. And it just gets sickening after a while. I know many of you are fed up with it too. So I've tried to limit my exposure to social media just because I'm tired of all the negative, news and the incredible drama that you see, especially with family and stuff. It's just draining, a lot of it. And it hasn't helped my manic depression at all, frankly. But what has helped is that I've been looking at ways to change my life. I said, I've been through these periods before of being down in the dumps and feeling low, but what can I do? And like I said, gaming is fun. You can play a game and you'll feel good. It's like a little bit of pleasure. It's like eating a cookie or a brownie or a bowl of ice cream. It feels good. It tastes good for the moment, but it's like it's not lasting enough for me lately. I've been looking for more. And, gaming was something that kind of filled in the gaps and keeps me feeling up, and you feel a sense of accomplishment when you beat a tough game and you get through level by level and you work your way up. You get a sense of accomplishment, trying to complete everything, in Grand Theft Auto 5 or whatever. It does feel rewarding, but it's a short-lived little victory. And it's almost like a drug. You need more and more of that to feel better and better about yourself. I mean, eventually you're just playing tons of games and you get them done and completed, and it doesn't feel as wonderful as it once felt, like it did back in, the 90s or the 80s even. But I still enjoy it. But for me, and I've mentioned this before, and one of my things on happiness recently is that what I found that I examined my past, I looked back and I said, there's got to be a reason why I'm feeling down and out. What can I do about it? And I've had a lot of wonderful support from my friends, and I do appreciate it. I've been very supportive and helpful with the kind words and thoughts. and prayers, and I certainly appreciate that. But at the end of the day, it's up to me to change how I interpret things and how I internalize things and how it affects my outlook on life. And that's what kind of this little spiel's about. It's been a tough time, but I found that I look back and I said the times I've been happiest is when I felt productive and done something with my art, something that I've talked about for years now. I keep talking about my gaming art. I've shown people my picture of this wonderful twisted metal painting. This is for a 5-foot painting that I had planned on doing and cutting out. I have it all drawn. The composition's done. This is just a clean line drawing to get the proportions correct. But I'm anxious to do this, but I haven't done anything with it. And people go, why don't you do it? Why don't you, get going on your paintings? And with art, like writing or anything else, it's kind of a right-brained activity. You really have to feel inspired. You have to get the right state of mind and be in a place where you can do it. My business has kind of taken over. Since we bought this house, we had to leave the other big house that I had when I did that interview with Mark Bussler about my artwork. I had a huge house, and I had a couple designated rooms just for my artwork and all my art books, and a studio set up with all my lighting and easels, and it was just nice to have a place to work. And then we were looking seriously at buying a house. We spent a year renting a much smaller home to save our money up. So I had to pack all that art stuff, put it in storage, and I've kind of left it by the wayside. Then we get busy with this house and fixing the house up and all that. It's a smaller house, and there is room, and I have opposite, right behind where this camera is, I have a wall, which I'm looking at now, and it's all set up. I have an easel set up on the wall, and it's got lighting and everything, and it's ready to go so I can do my contour cutout paintings on that wall. And I've been talking about doing this, God, for years, since that interview with Mark Bussler. I wanted to do gaming art, and I had mentioned in that interview, and I'll have a link below for that original interview that I did with Mark, that I wanted to do gaming art and like science fiction stuff, like Star Wars and Star Trek, kind of, pop culture geek art. That I really love. I love watching other artists do their variations of Star Wars art and Star Trek art. Now, it's been many years since I've been to a Star Trek convention, but right after Gene Roddenberry died, I went and saw his wife do a huge speech about him. I think it was at the LAX Sheraton in Los Angeles, by the Los Angeles International Airport. They had a giant Star Trek convention right after Gene Roddenberry passed away, and it was very memorable. And that's where I first got my look at how big the geek culture is with the Star Trek universe, and even Star Wars. There are other vendors that were selling Star Wars models and artwork and Ralph McQuarrie prints like the ones that I have, that I showed recently in my Star Wars little retrospective video, which if you haven't seen it, you might get a kick out of. It's just, one man's recollections of watching that original opening week launch of the original Star Wars in 1977, which is very memorable. And it's funny how life kind of works, and talking, about that Star Wars film and watching these again, which is the first time I've seen them since 2005, I got really inspired, and it brought back the passion of when I used to do tons of little doodles and drawings of Star Wars spaceships and R2-D2 and C-3PO all the time. I was drawing Star Wars stuff and Star Trek stuff all the time, and I enjoyed it. It was a big part of my life growing up, especially in the 80s, and it propelled me into a career into Hollywood as a standby set painter and sign painter in the movie industry. And that's what my last little spiel I did on Star Wars was all about, kind of talking about that, and how George Lucas inspired me to want to get out of the dusty farming town that I lived in and go for a big dream of working in Hollywood and the studios and all that. And I pulled it off and felt very fulfilled and felt happy doing that. But I wanted more, and I wanted to do my own business. I didn't like working under the big corporate umbrella any more than George Lucas did. So I've enjoyed doing my art. I have a painting business where I do lots of interior painting and exterior painting of people's homes and residences. And I also do decorative painting in the way of faux finishes in murals and children's rooms and stuff like that, which I got away from for years. I did that, and I just stopped advertising and stopped really doing that. But I missed it. It was a part of my life that I enjoy as an artist. And I've been so inspired lately after watching these Star Wars films again. I just said, I've got to get back. What happened to my dream of doing this? So when I finally made a decision, I talked with my wife at length about it, and she says, you were happiest when you did that painting for Mark Bussler. You did that El Camino painting. I recently did a Corvette painting, which I still have hanging in my garage now, of this 2010 Grand Sport Corvette. And I love doing those. But back in '07, I lost my home and all my muscle cars and everything that I had. And since I lost the cars, I felt that my car painting business, which I'll have a link for my website down below, it's called deanscoolcars.com. And it's been a wonderful website, and I've done tons of these cars, 20 odd cars and several automotive related murals. And that was a big part of my life, cars, but I can no longer afford them. And since I lost my collection, which took me years to build up, I could never afford to buy even one of those cars back now. They're worth tens of thousands of dollars, and then you got to put tens of thousands into them to make them the way you want them. So it's an unrealistic goal for me to go after that, pursue that. And since then, I've kind of lost my desire to paint them in the process because of this. I was hoping the last couple of years I could get into another muscle car again and get back to my car paintings, as well as doing my gaming art, but it just never materialized. But I said, what am I still passionate about today? And I said, well, cars, have come and gone and all that, but the one constant is gaming, is gaming. Gaming is one of those things, as well as my movies, that I love. And it's been a big part of my life. It's something that I enjoy doing, and if I can find fulfillment and discover my bliss in life by painting Star Wars art and cutouts, kind of like my car paintings, of my favorite Star Wars characters, giant Darth Vader helmets, and R2D2 and C3PO, cutouts, good size ones you can kind of floating off the wall. They could have a logo or not have them, would be exciting. I'm really excited. So lately what I've decided I'm going to do is that I've got a lot more downtime now. I have like a week off here and afternoons there. And now I have finally the time off to where I could technically make the time and do these paintings. So this last week and a half, I've been designing a new logo for my business. I'm going to kind of, I'm going to keep the Dean's Cool Cars up for a little longer, but I'm designing a whole new logo, a new name, and it's just going to be really all about doing movie-related art and gaming art. I'm very excited about it. I've been alluding to it and talking about it forever, but I haven't had the time, the large chunks of time needed to get into it. It's hard to switch gears, come home from work when you're physically wiped out, and all of a sudden, oh, okay, I'm going to go and start painting now. But when I have days off or early afternoons that I get off, I can find the time and I can make the time to do something instead of just taking in more gaming and movies, which is fine. I want to get back to doing my art. It makes people smile. People enjoy it. I get a big kick out of doing it. It's not so much about the money as it about the challenge of doing it. Right now I've got a series of 3 paintings which I'm designing. I've been going through and collecting the reference material. I have tons of books and magazines with Star Wars and Star Trek related memorabilia and stuff like that. I'm compiling a bunch of pictures that I can start doing these paintings. So I'm getting the perfect angles. I'm working on the composition, much like my twisted metal thing here. This is the proportion of it is you get all of the elements and then you get them in a perfect proportions, and then you're ready to proceed and blow it up into a large or larger than life-size painting, and it's exciting. So I've got my garage done now, which I showed my recent home tour. That's why I did that. And I've got a giant designated section in my garage, which I've shown in a recent home tour video. And I've got a picture of it right here where you can see it all outlined. And that's going to be a giant mural. I'm thinking I may just do a giant Star Wars mural in there. It would be fantastic. Like you're looking out through a giant portal of the Death Star into space with a partial battle or something going on. I don't know what. I'm very excited about it. I'm dying to do a series of paintings. Some of them will be of some of the spaceships. Some will be some of the characters. I don't want to show anything yet. I'm working on lots of little sketches and compilations of what I think will work. But initially I want to do a painting from each of the original trilogy. One from Star Wars, one from The Empire Strikes Back, and one from Return of the Jedi. And do a series of 3 paintings. They could be bought in a series or sold separately. It really doesn't matter. But I'm really pumped about it. I'm also in the process of looking at a much more high-end website for this, because I know these things are going to sell, and I know people are going to find them interesting, whether they just want to go to the website and look at them or whether they want to buy them. So I'm going to be focusing on doing original art. Some artists will do like a drawing or a painting, and then they make prints of it and they sell the prints for $20 or $25 each. I'm not so much interested in that. The kind of work that I do is handcrafted paintings. Are made out of wood. I use saws and sanders, and then I do painting them large, with acrylic paints and applying clear coat. So it's kind of a fun process of making them, and I'm going to be doing videos showing me doing the process to where you can kind of get a bird's eye view of what it takes to make one of these new Dean Thompson original paintings. And that's what this little update's pretty much about. I'm really excited. It's the first time in years that I've really been inspired to do something with my art in my life. It's just taken me, I had a week and a half off at first. I go, oh my God, what am I going to do for a week and a half? So I started gaming, and that was fun initially. And I started watching those Star Wars films. And I said, I have to do this. This is something that I have to do. I have enough plywood right opposite me on this wall here to probably do 3 to 5 paintings right now. So, and I've got all my paints in the other room. I had to go through my shed, my garage. I found several boxes of all the things needed. I've got them all in the other room ready to go. So I put together a business plan. I'm in the process of designing a really nice logo, which I'm very excited about. And then it's going to segue right into doing my new website. I'm also going to be doing a website for my painting business as well, which I'm very excited about. We're going to be working on that, not this weekend, but the following weekend. We're designing the painting website first, because that's really to make money and perpetuates my income. And then I'm going to immediately afterwards do the one for my new gaming and movie related fan art, which I'm very excited about. So let me know what you think about that. If it sounds like something that you're interested in, would you like to see videos based on me, actually doing the work, drawing them and painting them, cutting them out? Because I'd love to do some videos like that. I know it kind of deviates away from gaming or gaming videos in general. And I love doing, pickup videos and stuff like that too. As I've just picked up a couple games that was, 2 of my favorite games I've been waiting to get, and it's fun. I love doing these. But I'm interested in kind of segueing into other things that are related to it, but just more as an artist. Someone that has a passion for gaming and movies like myself. I love it more than anything. It's a big part of my life. It's not near as expensive as automobiles and, restoring cars and all that, which is just so expensive. And it's something that I'm encouraged to do. I also went out and ordered off eBay. I found a brand new copy of the Star Wars original soundtrack on CD, on 2 CDs. And so now I've got this to listen to. I found my old Blade Runner soundtrack, and I'm excited about listening to some of my favorite science fiction movie soundtracks while I'm doing it. So I'm slowly kind of getting all the elements together to make this dream a reality. It's been something that's been a long time coming. I even had plans on doing a Wolfenstein art piece, which would probably be the first gaming-related art piece that I want to do, where I may do some of the giant mech monsters from Wolfenstein and maybe the logo as well. I even mentioned that to my friend that works as a lead designer at Machine Games. And he says, dude, if you get any pictures of them done, pass them on to me, and I'll pass them on to the whole crew here at Machine Games. They would love to see it. Who knows? Maybe they'd be interested in having something like that for the lobby of their headquarters or whatever. I don't know. But it's a dream. It's something that I'm excited about. I'm excited for the first time in months. It feels great to get back into gaming. It feels great to remember the things that have made me who I am today, to come full circle to where I am now. I'm looking forward to continuing my life, but doing something that I love doing. I love painting homes, and I love doing cabinets and all that kind of stuff, but I find a real joy and a fulfillment in doing my artwork, whether it's gaming related or movie related. It's very exciting to me. So anyway, that's enough of my long-winded speech. It's just a channel update to let you know where I'm at, where my spirits have been at lately. It's been a tough time. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I do this channel for my friends that appreciate my contribution of an older gamer. It means a lot to me to try to share my view of gaming, and I enjoy hearing from you the things that you love about gaming. And I certainly hear a lot of the negative too, the gripes and things that are. Not everyone's into pickup videos. Not everyone is into, gameplay videos and all that. But I appreciate the whole gambit of it. To me, that's what YouTube is all about. It's about expressing yourself and the things that you love. And a lot of us love the same things. And that's what this channel is about. That's what I'm here for, to share my love of pop culture and these wonderful films like the Blade Runner and Star Wars and things like that. And if I can do my artwork of games, my favorite games, and Doom and Wolfenstein and the Fallout series and stuff like that, and do wonderful artwork from it that people can hang on their walls and their game rooms, I can't think of a more fulfilling and fun thing to do. So I'm very excited. Again, thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot to me. Enjoy your games and enjoy your dreams. If you have dreams, go after them. Don't let your music die in you. This is something that I've done. I get so caught up in making a living that you forget to design your life. Enjoy your life today and design your life the way you want it. Do what is fulfilling to you in the long run, because it really does make a difference. That's the best advice I can give. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your games and enjoy your life.